Mm. Hello, everybody. It is your favorite time of the week. Welcome to a very special edition of Star Trek and Chill. It's Friday. It's time to talk about Star Trek. It's time to chill. It's time to have a great time because you've had a long week. You've earned it. Melissa was pulling out her earphones because she didn't like the stories that were being told. Not by me. One of these
I
other
can't
folk
blame
here.
her.
Uh,
My God.
When you mentioned chunks, that's when you
Oh,
lose
God.
me. I'm just like,
Well, now you brought it up. So Brian's wish is granted. We're starting off the show with
Star Trek Discovery Season 5 trailer, of course, everybody. I don't know if you've seen it. It just came out, and people are raving. The internet is ablaze about it. We'll talk about that. We're just, like 5 weeks away from Star Trek Discovery gracing our, what is it called? Airwaves? Internet waves? Something like that.
interwebs.
Yep.
Screens. Our screens.
Also, very important. Here's something we want to hear from all of y'all, as the French say. Who got you into Star Trek? We want to hear your story.
I love that question.
For some people, it's just a one-word answer, TV. I don't know. That's a boring answer. But most of these are actually going to be like a nice little story, like say, oh, it was a Monday night. I was 5 and I watched Wrath of Khan with my uncle, or we ate marshmallows and the cat was playing with my hair, or something like that. If that's the case, if it's longer than one sentence, just email it to us at virtualtrekcon@gmail.com and we'll read it right here on the interwebs, as Shar says. So that's virtualtrekcon@gmail.com. Who got you into Star Trek? And the reason we want to know this is, who do we have to thank for you being here today?
yeah.
Hey,
right?
love it.
If it weren't for that person, they wouldn't be in the live chat. We wouldn't know each other. There wouldn't be any of this. So who do we have to thank? What I'm trying to say is Melissa Longo is here, everybody.
Hi there, folks. I'm happy to be here with my Ferengi family shirt from the Star Trek and Chill online store.
Whoa. Wait a minute. That's where I got my Stumbled and Chill shirt.
What?
What?
Can you believe it?
Jenny R. Johnson, everybody.
Stop.
Oh.
Gangsta Jenny.
Well, she's wearing that's true. If she could do gangster rap with that flannel. That's like 1993
Canadian grunge.
Snoop and Dre.
I have a
Canadian
very
grunge.
large collection of flannel.
Do you have any Birkenstocks?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Wow.
I bet Canada went through their
on.
grunge phase like in 2016.
We were a little behind schedule, but it was, it was in like 95, 94, 95. So we were like, we were a little behind, but
yeah, that's about when my small town was really into it too.
Yeah. I never stopped.
Why stop? Charlene Schmidt is here. She's the OG of podcasting. We have her to thank for all of this too.
No, you don't. But you give me way too much credit, Ryan. Way too much. But it's good to be here.
That's pretty much true, though. What happened, Jenny? What did I miss?
Well, and I have to say, thanks for wearing the emissary.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
wearing a Melissa Longo original, everybody.
That you can get at the introvertedrepublic.com. That's the introvertedrepublic.com. Click on Walking Art Made by Melissa and get your very own emissary shirt. In preparation for Emissary Day, which is just around the corner, just 3 months away.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming quick. May 22nd. Meteorologist Katie is here, sipping on a straw.
How's it going? What's on tap today, Katie?
I got something special for this. I don't know why I felt like I should, but I got a chocolate avalanche milkshake from our local True North ice cream place. He started it by making it like in his basement, and then he decided I could sell these.
Yo.
So yeah, there's brownie chunks like boba in the bottom, and it's homemade chocolate ice cream.
Melissa
And I
doesn't
will
like
be
the word
asleep.
chunks.
Milkshake.
Well, when you guys were like, "Oh yeah, it's got chunks of food," and I was like, "I'm literally doing that right now."
The good kind, though. The good kind. That sounds amazing. I'm not even like, I'm
Oh.
not a big chocolate fan, but that still sounds really freaking. This show makes me so hungry, you guys.
I know, that's all we do.
You
I have
make me
a
And
so
full
water.
watermelon
hungry.
that's 2 times
Love
as heavy.
it.
It's just intense.
That's
That
crazy.
reminds me of a joke, everybody. So if anybody
Ooh.
doesn't want to hear a rather childish adult humor, I
Mhm.
don't know where that fits, but like childish adult humor. If you don't want to hear it, everybody turn down your volume for the next 20 seconds and wait until you see their reaction before you turn the volume back up.
Can't wait now.
All right, do it.
Guy's talking to his pal, and he's like, "Oh my God, I feel terrible. Last night I got so drunk I blew chunks. Oh, it
Oh,
was the worst experience." And the other guy's like, "It's not that bad. That kind of happens to everybody. Haven't you ever been to college, bro?" And he's like, No, you don't understand. Chunks is my dog's name."
oh,
Oh, no, that's terrible.
All right, you guys can turn your
Katie's
volume back
face.
up now.
Should have seen that coming and
Oh
didn't,
my
and it
God.
was great.
Yeah.
Oh my
Uh-oh,
gosh.
YouTube just flagged us. Oh well.
Oh,
We said
Aw.
chunks too
demonetized
many
again.
Yeah.
Add some squirt in. We'll make the most of it.
Anyway, my name
Might
is
as well
Ryan
go
T.
for Dirty
Husk,
Joke
everybody. And no, maybe.
Fest.
Yeah, but Shar, you got to start it. What are we drinking today, Shar?
Oh, I just have ginger ale in my B5 mug because I was chatting B5
Whoa,
with my
hold up
group
that mug
on.
again.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I got this from my bro Norm, and where he got it from, I
Nice.
have no idea, but
Cool.
these are not the most common thing. It's like my most prized B5 merchandise item
You
that I
buried the
have.
lead there.
And I really don't
Ginger ale
have
in
much
this
B5
amazing mug.
stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. So I pull it out when it's time to do our weekly B5 chats on the Mission Log Discord. And next week we get to talk about my favorite B5 episode ever. So I'm pretty
Amazing.
stoked for that.
Are you allowed to tell us what that is, or is that a surprise when you
No, I
announce
mean,
it?
you can look it up if you're in the group. I don't know if anybody is here, but it's "And the Rock Cried Out, No Hiding Place." That's the
It's
title.
one of my favorites too.
Ooh.
Hey, for real, I didn't think you watched B5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Melissa, what are you
almost got
drinking
me.
today too, by the way?
Two
I bet everybody
beverages.
else knows it though. Sorry.
Mm.
I have 2 beverages. One, the special beverage is some mint hot chocolate in my witch's brew mug.
Yes, to
Mm.
all of that.
And then when I need something less sweet, I have some lemon LaCroix.
Hmm.
To keep hydrated.
Yum. That's the good. It's the lemon Cheeto, right? Lemoncello.
No, it's not that one. It's just regular
Oh.
lemon.
Mm.
But
That's still good
I
though.
know it is.
Lemon's refreshing.
It
The
is.
limoncello though is just rocks my world.
I haven't tried that one.
It's so
That's the
good.
best.
Mm.
Mhm.
There's also a key lime pie one, a key lime one that's really good too.
Ooh.
I do
Yes,
like
Really?
that. Mm-hmm.
Jenny R. Johnson, what are you drinking today? Is it key lime
Well,
related?
It is not. It is not key lime related. I am finishing up. I've got a few things on the go here. I'm finishing up my Zevia Cola. I'm moving
Ooh.
on to once again my non-alcoholic winter mulled cider. And I also have some water because I'm also washing down a bunch of ice cream I just ate.
See,
Yeah, nice.
again,
Again.
the ice cream. And right before this, I was like, I could really go for some
Mhm.
ice cream.
It's one of the reasons I have the
Mm.
extra shirt on because I ate a bunch of ice cream and I was cold.
Dave Gregory in the live chat. Nice try. I don't think that's going to work. He says, everyone drop a like below to encourage Ryan's jokes and puns. I don't think that's going to work after that debacle
that
from
could
two. I'm
backfire.
still regretting
Careful.
it.
Oh,
I'm still
It's too bad
regretting-
Walter wasn't here.
He wouldn't.
Walter loves when you tell jokes.
Yeah, he's a
I
better
love
joke
when
teller.
Ryan tells really bad jokes because they're so much fun. The worse, the better.
I love a bad joke. Oh
I do
man.
too.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Oh, we
That
were
wasn't
talking about
bad.
your joke. Your joke was
I'm
wonderful,
drinking
Ryan.
thank you. I'm drinking tropical guava naked
Nice.
beverage juice because it looks
Ooh.
really good and delicious. And I've got some water to wash that down as well because I'm feeling fancy.
Hmm,
But I feel like that's going
Ooh.
to be a nice, healthy way to start the weekend. You know, sometimes
nice.
I was a little
Yeah.
sick, a little under the weather the last few days, kind of lost my voice and didn't sleep much. And humans, we're like, I know, I'll drink a juice item and then I'll be all better.
I'll drink a
And then the
green
next
juice.
day we're
That'll
like,
fix
why
it.
didn't
Yeah.
it work? It was $4.59. What more do you want from me? Come on, life.
Oh my God.
But it's got
You're trying
guava
here.
in it.
Mhm.
Yum.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
want guava.
Do you
Guava
guys remember
ice
the
cream.
first time you ever tried papaya and we're like, whoa, this is way less good than I thought it was.
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah, that
remember
was-
exactly
Mm.
when.
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Yeah, that
was it?
happened.
Well, my mother had just been visiting from Panama and then she left, but she loves papaya, loves it. And she left a whole bunch of papaya cut up in my fridge. And I'm like, oh, great, fruit. I can have as much of this as I want. So I got a bowl of papaya that's already been cut up and cleaned off. And I bite into it and I'm like, what is this?
And you think maybe it's bad, right? You think maybe maybe I
Yes.
got a bad batch.
Yes. And then I'm like, so I Google on the internet how to tell if papaya is bad. and then I learned that all papaya kind of smells like smelly feet. And
Yeah.
with a little bit of vomit in there. So
Yeah.
it's gross. It's gross.
And we've come full circle back to vomit.
That's all
Where
we
it all
have tonight.
began.
Boy, our numbers are plummeting right now. But guava is delicious, everybody.
Guava
That's the thing is I used to get
Yeah, guava is
confused by
good.
that. There's guava,
Mhm.
papaya, and there's one other like maybe it was mango that like
Passion
kind of
fruit.
I associate with like Hawaii, and then they have
Yeah.
like these
Yeah.
mixed blends from like kerns, and you think they're all really good, and then you're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
papaya, and that's and then a couple times I would forget which one's the bad one that I didn't
Mhm.
like, and then I remembered papaya's like pupuya, and that's how I
Yeah.
forever can remember. Just stay away from it. You can
Yeah.
have it in a mix, but for
Ugh.
some reason, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Smelly
What's the
socks.
firmness of it, though? Like, that's the deal breaker for me, is I have to have firm fruit.
Mhm.
It's pretty firm. I mean, it's like a cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Terry
far
Rose
as
recommends
texture.
durian fruit. Not
Oh
falling for
no,
that
no, no,
trap.
no, 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 no.
Mm.
No,
Is that
no,
the
no,
smelly
no, no,
one?
no.
I'd like to
Yes.
smell or try it because I might like it because some people love it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to at least
It's so smelly
hear
that
it,
it's
see.
illegal to
I
eat
know.
it indoor in a closed environment.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
You
Really?
have to eat it outside. Like,
Oh,
yeah, that's how
Yeah.
bad it is.
Mission to explore strange new
Oh.
fruit.
that sounds terrible.
So everybody at home, we're going to talk about the new Discovery trailer in just a moment. But if you're just joining us a little late, we're also going to talk about who got you into Star Trek. Who do we have to thank for you being here today? Who do you have to thank for you being here today? Let us know. If you could put it in the live chat if you'd like, or if you're watching this not live, you can put it in the comments section below. That's always a lot of fun. If it's more than a sentence or two, feel free to email it to us at virtualtrekcon@gmail.com, and we will read it here live in just a few moments. That's virtualtrekcon@gmail.com. Looks like some of you have already started sending those in, so that'll be
That's
fun. We'll do that in a
awesome.
little bit.
Well done.
Oh yeah.
We got one
That's
from
so
One Trek
awesome.
fan and Back of the Head
Nice.
already, so
Woohoo.
And
that should be a
shout
fun-
out to all of you who, like us, are not on the cruise today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe some
Yeah.
are.
Mhm.
Even if you are on the
Ooh,
cruise
yeah,
and
that
you're
too, yeah.
watching us
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's
hi.
dedication.
Yes. Hello to the cruise people too.
Insanely jealous.
Yeah.
That sunset was gorgeous.
Yes.
What about the Gorn at the dance party last
Oh my
night? I saw
God,
all
I
over
saw-
Twitter. It's like, and there was a Ferengi on board walking
Mhm.
around today. I'm like, how do you do this? I'm a cosplayer. I don't even know how to do that.
Mhm.
What's your secret?
People are amazing.
Yeah.
Are.
It's very talented people out there.
Really, like really.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Jenny
I
R.
always-
Johnson's extremely talented, everybody.
A
Have you
nice thing to
seen her
say.
True.
paintings? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Thanks.
very talented.
Jeepers.
Oh, actually, Melissa H won a painting by Jenny, which is going to be amazing for
Yes.
doing the science quiz. I think she got something like 8 points or something unbelievable.
11.
Maybe 40. 11. That's not
Wow.
even legal.
think
Mhm.
It
It
was
was
like 14,
11.
maybe.
Oh,
Let me
was it?
check the
She
official
dominated.
records.
Oh, okay.
I have the official spreadsheet. Let us see. Oh nope, it was 10.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Oh,
still, I mean, how many questions were there?
At least to the W category. So
Mhm.
21, I think. 20 or 21.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
She got
amazing.
nearly half of them right.
Yeah.
They were tricky too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, there were some real stumpers this
Mhm.
time
Mhm.
around.
We're getting into the weeds.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of which, let's get out of the weeds
Ooh.
and
Right.
talk about. Oh, first, everybody, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for notifications. If you're listening in, give us a 5-star rating and a nice review. We'd really appreciate that. Think of it this way. It's like, you know how when you go into the subway and you have to like pay something and you pretty much have to pay something for everything that you do? You don't for this one, but just consider that like button all you have to do. You just, it's like just, yeah, you click that and that's it.
It's a swipe of your Metro card if you're
Super
living
chill.
in New York City.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So this new Discovery trailer dropped. We can't show it, otherwise YouTube will be mad at us.
Mhm.
But everybody at home, I hope you've seen it. Did you guys see it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Right before
Yes.
B5 time.
Nice.
Jenny, you said you were looking for
Detmer.
Detmer, and Melissa, you were looking for
Jet
duct tape
Reno.
herself, right?
Yes. I love Jet Reno.
Yeah, me
too.
too.
Me
Same.
too.
Mhm.
I'll watch anything Tig Notaro does.
Same.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
so
Wonderful.
great. So
Yeah,
great.
definitely.
But we need
Yeah.
way more Jet Reno this season than we've gotten the last couple years.
I
Like,
agree.
I understand she's been really busy. I don't care. We need more.
You get yourself to Toronto and you film.
That's
yeah, you
already
stay there for
happened.
weeks until it's
I know.
done.
And how do
Yeah.
we dupler Tig Notaro?
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, yeah. That's a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah.
What if Tig Notaro, if she's like a dupler, but
Mhm.
every duplicate of her is slightly less funny? How many duplers would
Aw.
it have to get to before she stopped being funny? Like 20 or 40 or you know what I mean? Like
Like
It
a
would
bunch.
be
if you're
a
like
while.
like number 20, you're like,
Yeah.
that's still pretty funny. Not as
Mm.
funny as the original. You know,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
how every time you know, duplicate something, it gets slightly
Yeah.
faded or
Yeah.
something
Remember
like that.
Yeah.
Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
Oh,
Yeah, didn't
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that what it
Cloned
was?
himself. Yeah, he figured out how to clone himself. And by the time he got to like even 3,
Yeah.
because the clones started cloning themselves, it got really stupid.
That's funny.
That's actually
That's
not
a
a bad
fun
film.
Yeah, that's a fun idea.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. That works. So yeah, but overall, what'd you guys think of the trailer? I only watched it once.
Mm.
Sometimes I'll watch it multiple times, but I'm just like, I'm gonna watch it once and I'm gonna save the rest for later.
Mhm.
You know what always catches my eye in these trailers, and it's very much the same for this trailer, is the color
Mhm.
of it. It's so beautifully shot and beautifully, all of it is just really beautiful to watch. It's really stunning.
Yeah.
The color just yeah. it hypnotized me for a
vibrant.
bit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's vibrant. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was a big standout for me, was just how colorful it is. Because
Mhm.
I've been going back and rewatching season 1. It's just
Mhm.
because I love
Mm.
Lorca, you know,
Yes.
as one does with Jason Isaacs.
Yes.
But I'm like, there's not as much, nearly as much color popping.
Mhm.
Like the change in
Yeah.
uniforms helps, but it's like, this is really, it's a different
Yeah.
style, and I appreciate it.
Right. Well, like
Yeah.
the outdoor scenes and the greenery is
Yes.
just so
Oh, yeah.
lush. I just wow. And then the
Yeah.
blue is just this wonderful emerald-ish kind of blue that's just so vivid and rich and vibrant. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really neat just seeing little flashes of those, you know, whatever worlds they're going to end up on, and especially the fact that this is
Yeah.
like a, you know, galactic national treasure chase type. Well, it's not that, but
Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Right.
That it just, it's, I'm hopeful, and clearly that's the case, that we're going to get to see some pretty cool places, and you know, have them kind of bouncing around. That's really exciting. Like, just to see those strange new worlds, pardon the pun.
Yeah. And the cinematography on Disco has always been brilliant.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is no exception. What really hit home for me with this trailer was this is the final season. Like, it feels very
Mhm.
like we're gonna say goodbye, taking a deep
Mhm.
breath.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I did feel that sense of pull, that it is the final season and they're everyone's saying goodbye, and then there was that flash of Tarina and Saru together, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen with them. And
Yeah.
Are they gonna
because
get married?
I know, because they
Does
just
the show
have
end with a wedding?
Make it, yes, Will and Orville. Just be
Right.
like, the end.
Just not a Game of Thrones.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They could
No.
totally just be like, and the ship blew up. Good night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
I'm excited to see the Stargate. It's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
really cool.
It kind of does look like a Stargate.
I know.
It does.
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm. Well, and then they obviously have some cool special effects from when the two Maul and what is her partner's name? I forgot. They beam into some place really quickly, and they
Yeah.
have these really cool helmets on, and
Mhm.
that looks interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, what about
It's
you?
gonna be really cool.
Well, these guys are tilting their heads. That's a picture of me when I was a little guy.
Cute.
Did you have red hair, or is that just the
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
photo?
I had
Look at
long
those cheeks.
I had long red curly hair.
Wow.
Anyway,
Amazing.
I thought that the trailer is really cool. I do love the color, and every time you see these kind of things, it reminds you just how amazing the cinematography
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
and the production design and the
Yeah.
camera work. And you're like, wow, they really are. I mean, you could see that they're putting money into this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, you can see that they have a big budget and they have big big wallets, and that they're spending it on making it look amazing, to where each one of these things is basically like a short movie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Not even that short, you know, practically as long as a Disney movie, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them, right? Some of them are like
Actually.
66 minutes, something like that.
Mhm.
So the impressions I got, yeah, Saru and Tarina, that was great to see, because I kind of was worried maybe that's the end of their story, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
Better not.
I also really liked, you know, the wardrobe. Like, there's a scene with like Saru and his like almost like
Yeah.
black armor, and I'm like, whoa, this guy looks like RoboCop now. This is nuts.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I feel like we saw practically the whole crew. We see Tilly's back.
Mhm.
I don't think we saw her much in season 4.
No.
Right.
'Cause she.
Mm-mm. I hope she's in a lot more,
Yeah.
like Jet Reno.
We're
Mhm.
expecting to see her in Starfleet Academy.
Mhm.
That's for sure. But who knows? Maybe she's just back for one episode, or maybe she's fully a regular again.
Mhm.
A regular. I didn't
Only
know if I
irregular.
pronounced that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was scenes of her hanging out in what is it, Margaritaville under the umbrella when they were
Oh yeah,
filming.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So hopefully that means that she's a regular again.
Yeah.
I hope so. But I also hope they leave us off wanting to see her in Starfleet Academy. Like
Right.
put her character in a really good place to look forward to that.
Mhm.
I just like the entire time watching, I'm just sitting here like, please make it a happy ending. Please make it a happy ending. I can't handle another
Yeah.
Trick Tucker. I need everyone to leave.
Yeah.
Don't break the toys.
Nobody has to die.
Nobody has to die.
Agreed.
If you have another like Enterprise ending, it'll be like
Oh my God.
Picard and Raffi and Seven of Nine show up and they go, okay, end program to Discovery.
It would be terrible.
The
Terrible.
collective groan from around the world.
Right.
Yeah.
So many
Right.
TV screens broken because people threw things at it.
Yeah. I'm so
Absolutely.
glad Picard didn't go that route.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Except
Yeah.
for with
Yes.
Shaw. But he's
Mhm.
only Spock dead, as we've read. in the
Exactly.
news.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's yeah.
As soon as we get Legacy, he'll be alive again. I swear.
Mm.
You better be.
He's alive in our hearts, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are the voyages, my butt.
Yeah. Just,
Wow.
Right? Series didn't end with that. Mm-mm. Doesn't
Nope.
exist.
no.
Nope.
But
We
this
need
feels
and
always,
we've talked about it before. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. But like
No,
we need
it's
an animated
okay.
Enterprise.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
that
my
would be
two-
fun.
That'd be fun.
No, that would be great. I love
Yeah.
Enterprise.
Yeah, me too.
But Disco's always been great at their costuming. And I also
Mhm.
have to mention the music as well, because it does set you up for an adventure. So it feels like that is where this season is going. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I just hope it's not a whole, oh my God, the galaxy's going to completely collapse and we're all going to die and everything is on the line again. Can we just have an adventure
Mhm.
where the stakes
That
they
is
don't
an
have to be that
adventure.
high?
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, what if they said it's going to be something a little bit more like Indiana Jones-ish? So maybe you will get your
Yeah.
wish. And
What
I
it
feel like
looks
they've even
like,
used
yeah.
the word adventure more. So maybe it's like a galactic scavenger hunt or a galactic.
Yeah.
You know, there was
Yeah.
a game, a board game called. Well, that's too bad. I don't remember what it was called, but it was pretty cool. It was basically like a whole bunch of Indiana Jones type characters, and you're going around the world for like getting, artifacts and treasures and
Mhm.
things like that. And that's
Hmm.
kind of what this might be, is like they have to find this thing. They'll have to save the universe for sure. That's definitely their thing. But maybe the bigger storyline will be finding this thing to save the universe, or finding this artifact or this person, which makes it like a big archaeological or
Mhm.
galactic search, which would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. It's just because I think they even said that it isn't like saving the universe level stakes, but it's
Okay.
a
Yeah.
grand adventure.
Mm.
I think that's sort of which is kind of nice because it's not super serious. Everyone's gonna die if we don't do this necessarily.
Right.
Maybe yes,
Yeah.
but like
Right.
maybe not.
Done
Yeah.
that so many times already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I think
But if
Yeah,
they
I mean-
don't like have the threat of death, we're gonna
well, yes.
we
I
have
know,
to
the
we have
stakes
to
still
worry for
have
their
to be
safety.
high.
At least they'll be like, otherwise they're like, if we don't do it, you guys, my grandma's gonna be really mad. Okay.
Yeah.
They can make the
Well,
mission
we'll
to save a
try.
puppy or something. Those are
Right.
high
You don't wanna-
stakes.
Yeah. I'm curious to know why this artifact is so valuable. What makes it so valuable?
Yeah.
And why it's important for it not to fall into the wrong people's hands.
Yeah. Maybe like it's a key to some like amazing resource that'll be like really good for everybody, kind of
Ooh.
like cold
Mm.
fusion
Ooh.
You know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's say hi to everybody in the live chat right quick,
Ooh.
too. Our buddies Emily Hall. What's up, Emily? Lucia Raz out in Brazil, who says no. But I don't know about what. And Kimber Spore says, I would have a meltdown. Boy, I wonder what we were talking about then. Steve Case, hello. Dave Gregory, John Davis, Joshua M. Patton of CBR.com, Linda Anderegg, Bob D, Just Rosie, Leb D, Terry Rose. Any relation to Axel? That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Would be awesome.
Yes.
I saw a thing on Twitter that said who has the best voice or who's the best singer, and it was Axl Rose, Dave Mustaine, Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, and what's his name of Metallica? Why can't I remember his name?
James
James Hetfield.
Thank you, James Hetfield. August 3rd is his birthday, by the way.
Wow.
Oh, he
Anyway.
fits in our little birthday bubble.
Leo, yeah. But anyway, and I was like, I don't know if, I mean, Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield aren't even like technically good singers. Like, that's not even like a fair thing to do.
That's actually, yeah, that's
Very
They're
different
cool, but
types of singing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's like,
you see, Katie,
Yeah.
these are bands that came out way after you. In fact, Led Zeppelin is a band that came out before any of us were born, but they're one of the greatest bands of all time. They're just incredible.
But
anyway,
it's like comparing Janis Joplin's voice to Whitney Houston's voice. They're both very different types of singers.
That's a really great way to put it. Yeah.
It's not fair to compare anybody to
Yeah.
Whitney, too, by the way.
Well, yeah, but it's very different type of singing.
Totally.
And they're excellent at what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
respectively.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Who do you guys think is the best singer?
Ever?
I see. I
Whatever.
That I can.
Yeah, I think it's one of those subjective things, like what kind of a genre or what sort of style,
And what mood you're in. I mean,
big time.
That too.
Katie's gonna name somebody from like a video game that none of us have ever heard of, because it's like what the kids are playing, and we're gonna be like, what? And she'll be like, you know, Super Mario Helicopter. Everybody's playing it.
I was like, what's a respectable answer that won't get me shamed on the internet? And I'm just like, you know, it's like Donny Osmond, which is the total opposite direction in time.
Oh, my mom would love that answer. She had a huge crush on Donny Osmond back in the day.
I ended up in his dressing room in Vegas. It was amazing.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, details. What happened here?
So basically, I was there with friends from college. We were at a conference and everyone wanted to go drinking. And I'm like, and so I decided to go do my own thing. And I went to Donny Osmond's concert at the Flamingo. I was the only person there with natural hair color. I was like 50 years younger than everyone else. And he did this giveaway where he's like, hey, yeah, put on my Facebook page why you deserve the CD. And I'm just like, I'm the youngest person here, dude. And he's like, we have a winner for the CD, Katie Nicola. I'm like, no way. And all these women just looked at me like with venom in their eyes. Like, you took this from me. But yeah, he was like, oh, yeah, come up to my dressing room. We'll do a meet and greet. We'll chat for a little bit. And he was such a sweet guy. He showed me his wig from Joseph, just had it in a closet. Like, he's just genuinely nice as he appears.
Oh,
this is amazing.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that was an amazing night.
Wow.
Oh, what a night. I love that you made all those older women so jealous and
That's
you weren't
incredible.
even trying.
Oh, they were, and they saw me walking around the casino afterward. They're like, how was he? And I'm like, you don't have to say it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to his dressing room and then.
Oh,
exactly.
And then
it's just like, do you like this couch? I designed it. I'm like, hey.
That's so wholesome.
Donny Osmond, couch designer. Never
Amazing.
would have thought.
Yeah.
God, I'm sorry I asked.
Super famous people have really interesting hobbies.
Yes.
So we have a
That's
poll in the live
funny.
chat. I kind of changed up the question on
Oh, okay.
Twitter. It said,
Mm,
"Who's the
nice.
best singer?" And I'm like, that's not even fair. Two of them aren't even good singers at all. Axl Rose has an incredible range.
Mhm.
Robert
Yes, he
Plant is a
does.
much better traditional actual singer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just changed it to which one do you prefer?
Mhm.
Right.
Which singer do you prefer out of 0% for Dave Mustaine? I will turn this live show around right now.
We will turn it around and start talking about puke right at the beginning, just like we
Yeah.
did, and you're gonna hate it.
No.
Chunky.
That's not fair.
No, see, all that are left are brownie chunks. I don't know if you guys can see. I looked at this and I was like, I'm done.
Nice. Yeah.
So the options are Dave Mustaine of Megadeth, of course, James Hetfield of Metallica, Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses, and Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin. Feels like 3 of those are from 80s to 90s, and one's from late 60s to 70s.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody voted for Dave Mustaine.
Aww.
There
Good
you
work,
go.
everybody. He is
Yeah.
definitely not a great singer, though. That poor but neither's James Hetfield. They're not good singers. They sound cool with the music.
Yeah.
But they do what
But
they
they
do.
They do know how to tell a story.
Yeah. They need Geddy
very
Lee on that list,
well.
man.
I mean, yeah. And yeah, being
Yeah.
a great singer is subjective.
Totally. It really is. I mean, I was actually just thinking about it, like, who would I, and then it's, because it's like Freddie Mercury and
Mm.
Frank Sinatra. These are 2
Mhm.
very different voices, and they're both amazing.
Freddie's
Exactly.
unbelievable.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Talk
And
about
you wouldn't-
range.
Like,
Right.
under pressure, like that.
Yeah.
Every like I've listened to that song a million times probably, and
Wow.
I still am flabbergasted when he hits that high note. And I mean, it's not anyway. I'm sorry.
That's kind of like
No, it's
Brendan
great.
Urie from Panic at the Disco. He has a very good range.
Yeah.
Mm.
The closest I've seen anyone come to Freddie Mercury in recent years.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
What about the dude from, I don't remember his name, the singer from Muse? He's not bad his
what is his
damn
name?
self. I
Matt-
don't remember.
What is
Boardman?
news? The Matt Boardman?
Matt Bellamy.
Okay.
That
Like
guy.
Bill
Not
Bellamy.
the Matt Boardman. Not that I'm aware of anyway.
Like Bill Bellamy.
Matt Bellamy.
The Matt
you know,
Boardman
yeah. He's
says,
good.
you take a mortal man, put him in control. He's quoting, of course, Symphony of Destruction, which was the
Nice.
second song on the 5th album. That's probably their most radio-friendly song, but good
Mhm.
knowledge there, the Matt Boardman. So Matt Bellamy's his name, huh?
Mm.
Yes.
Mhm.
But you even get singers in the same genre. I'm looking at Glenn Iverson's comment about Ella Fitzgerald, whose
Yes.
voice is incredible, but it's totally different from Billie Holiday's, which is also incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or Aretha
It's-
Franklin. Or
it's-
I would put
Oh,
Roberta
yeah.
Flack
Mhm.
up at the top of that list of that
Mm.
kind of grouping personally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Sure.
Roberta Flack, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Oh,
wouldn't
man.
necessarily want them to trade spots either, doing what the other person
Right.
does and seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like
Poor
I
Katie.
love Aretha Franklin's music.
Okay,
but
good.
Nice.
Did any of you watch the Thanksgiving Day football game that the Lions had and she sang the national anthem? Because
Mm-mm.
ESPN made a graphic for halftime for time of possession, and they put her up because she took like 7 minutes to sing the national anthem. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my
That's
life.
hilarious. I
Oh
missed
my
that.
gosh.
I did not see that either.
It's amazing.
That's
Oh,
pretty good.
yes. Joshua M. Patton mentions Nina Simone. I love her.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Mm.
I
know
know
that
some
one.
of these names. Yay.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Mhm.
I don't know
Yeah,
The
that
ones
one.
I don't, apparently I need to look up.
Mhm.
Let's make it a Star Trek twist. Who's the best singer amongst Star Trek actors?
Oh, this is
Ooh.
I mean, we
difficult.
know
Strange New Worlds entered the chat.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
that's a good point.
Oh.
We know James Darren obviously
Yep.
is
Mhm.
way
Yes.
up at the top of that
Sure.
list.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah,
But
there are a
then you
lot of
have-
people in Strange New Worlds. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And
we
then
can
you
make a
have
poll even among them.
Seven and or Jerry Ryan and Robert
Yeah, she can
Picardo.
Yep.
Mhm.
Brent
And
Spiner.
can I just give a little bragging moment? but I was at a convention with Aaron in England, and Robert Ricardo was there, and we had just gotten engaged. And so everyone at the convention had just learned that we had just gotten engaged. So Robert Ricardo decided to sing us an engagement song, which was quite memorable.
Aw.
That's
so
lovely.
sweet.
Oh,
That was quite memorable. So
that's awesome.
That
If
is
Patrick
super
Stewart
cool.
were there, he would say, engaged. Right?
Nice.
Oh, have you
Definitely.
heard Patrick Stewart sing Roadhouse?
Oh, wait.
No.
Please tell me you guys
Yeah.
have seen that video.
Yeah, there's a video, right? And he's wearing his stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
oh
amazing.
yeah.
Mhm.
But
Gotta see it, Char.
Faith Howell mentions Avery Brooks, and I have to
Oh.
Yes.
wholeheartedly agree.
Yes.
I could
Sure.
listen to him sing the phone book.
Mhm.
'Cause his voice is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wallace Shawn, of course. Everybody
Mhm.
knows.
Mhm.
Celia Rose Gooding, I think,
Yep.
might have it for me. I
Yeah.
was just going through the Strange New Worlds playlist. I'm like, oh yeah.
Ah.
got a
keep
great
keep us
voice.
connected.
Issa
Mhm.
Rose
Briones.
Gooding is she's
Very
got
good.
wings on her.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of
Mm.
some people are
Blue
saying that in
skies.
the live chat. Let's see. We've
Mhm.
got
Mhm.
Ben Genium says Tim Russ. He's got a very
Yes.
interesting
yeah.
voice.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Chris
he's got a
Marshall
band.
says Christina Chong.
Mhm.
John
Yeah.
Davis says
Oh, yes.
Nichelle Nichols. Good knowledge
Oh my
there.
gosh,
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Faith Howell and
Yeah.
Avery Brooks, of course. Ben Genium says 7 when she was getting brain surgery.
Mhm.
Back of the Head says Avery Brooks, definitely. Lucia Raz says Celia Gooding.
Mhm.
One Track Fan says Christina Chong. Emily Hall says Ethan Peck. She even mentions I Am the X. That song.
Ah,
Surprisingly
Yes.
good
He has a
vocals from
great
him.
Yeah.
voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul.
As someone
Mhm.
who was a very math heavy person in college, that song made me just crack up. The I'm the X. Like,
That's
I know some people
an
who would sing
algebra
this.
song.
Yeah.
I solved for Y in my computation.
Uh,
Who
Let's
wrote
see.
this?
oh, Kimber Spores also says Anthony Rapp is fantastic, of
Yes.
course.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
Musical theater.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wilson Cruz too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anne Marie says Camille Saviola. Wasn't she Kai Opaka, maybe? Camille
Mhm.
That's what she's
Saviola?
been doing on that
yes.
planet.
Is that who that is?
Mhm.
Tell us who that is. I feel like that that rings a bell. I
yeah.
think it might be Kai Opaka.
It's funny actually
I
because
believe she was on Broadway a lot.
yeah.
Right. Oh, Nana Visitor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
She can sing.
A
Yeah.
lot
Yep,
of
she
Broadway
can.
crooners there.
Mhm.
Wow.
And Leonard
Uh,
Nimoy.
Singers on Star Trek. Wow.
Yes.
Leonard Nimoy, the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins, I think.
Yeah.
That song.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I love
Shatner,
that.
Rocket
Me too.
Man.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man.
Who else we have in a lot of good stuff.
Mhm.
Actually,
Crawford
speaking of
Fulton King
Shatner.
says Jess Bush. Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but there is one Shatner song that I totally dig, and that is his cover of Common People off of one of his albums. It's
Ooh,
actually really
interesting.
good.
Nice.
Wow. I like that
There's-
song. So
He does an
Mm.
interesting song
Interested in-
called, I think it's called You're Gonna Die. Is it called You're Gonna Die? Somebody help us out in the live chat. Have you heard that song? I think
Sounds
it's
like
called You're
Megadeth.
Gonna Die. And
Mm.
and it's just but it's a really basically he's just saying like, you're gonna die, we're all gonna die, so just enjoy life while you have it, and
Nice.
but in his own Shatner way, he was like, you're gonna die too, we're all gonna die.
Oh my god, it's like the Oprah meme. You're gonna die, and you're
Yeah.
gonna die, and you're gonna die.
You get a tombstone and you get a tombstone.
Emily Hall says Allison Pill, Shadows of the Night.
Yes.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
knowledge, yes, very
Yes.
good.
Yes.
That was great.
Terry Rose says Peter Macon. I believe that is an Orville actor. That is
Mhm.
Bordis, I think,
Yes.
right?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But we didn't get to
Also,
hear it in
Greg
the
with
Orville.
Scott Bakula.
The redheaded
Yeah.
guy who was in TNG.
Oh, jeepers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Scott-
Scott.
What's his name?
Grimes.
Oh, Scott
Grimes,
Grimes.
Scott
thank you.
Grimes. Yeah.
Yep. Very good voice.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Doesn't he have a band?
I think
He was
does,
in the
yeah.
band from TV. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah, like the one that played at STLV last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Greg Grunberg's gang.
So
Yeah.
Chuck
Mm.
A and Rashid confirm, yes, it's Kaiopaka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Faith Sally on DS9. So good, says
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Gregory. Good knowledge.
Yeah.
She was in those 2 episodes. She was like the silent lady.
Right. Of the augments.
That's awesome.
Just Rosie says the space hippies. I don't think he's taking this as seriously
Yeah.
as we are.
Herbert.
Mick Fleetwood sings backup.
This is
Yeah,
He's a
he
good
was on
singer.
Star Trek.
Yeah,
He's a
right?
fish
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Is there a
Very
behind
true.
the scenes video of Gene Roddenberry singing that Irish song
Oh
from
my
the TNG
God.
episode? Yeah. And Michael Dorn.
Yes.
J.R. Poole says Brett Gray has an album. Good stuff there.
Oh.
Good
Oh,
knowledge.
he does. I didn't even know that.
Oh, and Joel Gray.
Oh,
Joel
yes.
Gray.
Who's that?
Yes.
Joel Gray
He-
is
He played
Joel Gray.
he guested on Voyager season 2. I think what was it, Calum was the characters that he played.
Mhm.
And he and Kate Mulgrew, I mean, they've acted before in Rima Williams. They were wonderful.
Yeah.
But
He's yeah.
fantastic in Cabaret.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm. And he
Year
was
that
in the
came to
original
Star Trek Las
cast of
Vegas. Oh
Wicked.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hmm.
I love
I
that.
don't remember him.
Ben Genium says Iggy Pop.
Yes.
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 Right. That's also a thing.
Oh, wasn't there a guy from Rage Against the Machine too that had like a really tiny bit
Tom
part?
Morello. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
guitarist of Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, maybe not so much singer.
Well,
Right. I think the
and
singer's
then-
Zach Della Rocca, I think is his name.
Mhm.
He's the guy that sings like this. He likes to just yell rhythmically, kind of. You know? You know?
That's really good.
But we
Yeah.
can't leave out our fellas from the Rat Pack.
I know, they're
Yes!
amazing.
True. Mhm.
Good call. Good
All
call.
of them.
I actually love Jeff Combs when he's singing the different characters that he's been, when he's like, I've been a Ferengi. And then he says, I've been a Vorta too. I've been all the things that he's been. I don't think he mentions Pink. I'm an Andorian, he says, but he's just got such an interesting voice and
Yeah.
fashion of
He
speech
has a
when he does
tone
it.
to it that's really like, that's
Mhm.
him.
That's cool.
It's unique.
Yeah.
Oh, good knowledge from Crawford Fulton King. Seth MacFarlane is a good
Yes.
singer, and he was in
Mhm.
2 episodes of Enterprise, I think.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Very good singer.
Nailed it.
Travis, I believe, can sing. Anthony Montgomery. Sirach
Mhm.
Lofton, we know, had a rap album.
Yes, he did.
So that's definitely a thing as well.
Mhm.
I can't imagine Colomini singing.
Wasn't
We know he
Yeah.
can play the cello.
did he sing in the Commitments? He was in the
Ooh.
Commitments, wasn't he? Am I making that up?
Let's check.
Am I stereotyping Colmini and saying he was in the Commitments when he wasn't?
I don't even know what that means.
I
That
think he
sounds
might
like a
not have been. I
60s
think I might be
doo-wop
making
group.
this up.
It's a 1991 film.
Mhm.
Let's see who the cast was.
Not Colmini. Jenny. Oh.
Give me your nerd
Hey.
card. You get a punch.
Not Colomini.
No, not Colmini.
That's
Okay.
okay. That's
No.
okay. It was a good swing.
It was
It
not. It was
was.
not a good swing.
It was a good effort.
Now I'm trying
Good
to
swing.
think now.
Isn't there a movie
okay.
out like with a plane underwater or something?
Who? What?
Call me. I feel like there's a new movie coming out about a plane that sinks
Oh.
and sharks are getting into the plane.
Somebody
swear
get
I
these
saw him.
motherfucking sharks off this
Hey.
motherfucking plane.
Now
I
that I could
swear.
see culminating to.
Yeah. Blimey. I prefer my planes with no sharks. Badger says Brock Peters. Interesting. I never heard him sing.
Oh.
Mm.
Well, Rashid says that Colmini sang a drunken song with Julian.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
Oh,
true.
I love that scene.
They
I
sang.
know.
So we can do that.
They sang. What the hell's
It
the name of that
counts.
song?
Chariots.
No, it's
No.
Frat. I got this.
What?
Don't mind me,
Wait,
as you
don't-
were.
Let's close this poll out here. Which singer do you prefer? One of these days we should have like a full tournament of the best singer ever on Star Trek. Okay, so the question was, which singer do you
Yeah.
prefer? 3% said James Hetfield, 3% said Dave Mustaine, 43% said Axl Rose, which is just fine,
Mhm.
and 47% said Robert Plant. That's
47.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, nice.
47.
Very
I'm wondering,
good.
should this be like a bracket tournament that you're talking about, Ryan? Since March
Yeah,
Madness
it
is coming up.
Mm.
It would have to be because we can
Ooh.
only do 4 at a time in
Yeah.
these
That would
polls,
be a lot.
which
Well,
yeah
space
makes it
madness.
fun, but
It
also makes it a
does.
lot more work. It'd be
Yeah.
cool if we
Yeah.
could just put like 30 people in one shot and just
It really
watch it.
would.
Go, yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, that would
Rashid
be
says,
great.
I voted Axl Rose, who
Ooh.
was born with the name William Bailey, by the way. William Bailey. Axl was just his high school band, I believe, was called Axl, and then they just started calling him Axl. And I believe they got the band
Oh.
name from a band member's dog, so he's named after a band member's dog or something of that
Nice.
nature.
Aw.
Mm,
Right.
Checks out.
Kind of sweet. That's
It
cute.
is.
Something of that nature. Who knows? Anyway, let's read what some people had to say. But what about you guys? Well, here, let's read this first one here. How I got into Star Trek. Lisa Herrera, out in Canada somewhere,
Yay.
says, I was 8 over at a friend's house in time when it had the quotes in Friends. I don't know what that
Could mean a lot of things.
I wasn't adding the quotes. I was 8 over at a friend's house in a time when TVs were always on, the 70s. That's parenthetical. The Trouble with Tribbles was on, and instead of hanging out with my friend, I was drawn to start watching. I was already into sci-fi, but this show, I couldn't believe how incredible it was. I was hooked well before the episode was over. Luckily, reruns of TOS were on every night at 7 p.m., some Canadian time. So that's what I did for the rest of the summer. As you can probably tell, I don't remember who the friend was that I was visiting. Now we get it. But I never let go of my love of Star Trek, and original Captain Kirk is my captain forever and for always.
Aw.
Lisa, one Trek fan.
Yay.
Nice. It's a good story.
Yes.
Is Captain Kirk any of your captain forever and always?
No.
No.
Not even the Canadian in the house?
I like him good. He's great. But that's
Like him
yeah. He's
Amazing.
That was a nice one. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa Herrera. Also, John Orchiola, that is Back of the Head, as you know him in the live chat, Back of the Head from ScreenRant.com. He says, I hated Star Trek. I liked Star Wars, original trilogy only. Star Trek looked terrible to me. On the bus rides to high school, my friends who liked Star Trek used to excitedly talk about the latest TNG episode, and I mocked them ruthlessly. I was that guy. I was above Star Trek. Flash forward to college. I visited my friend Sean Cronin at Bowdoin College in Maine for a weekend. His whole frat watched TNG on a Saturday night. Star Trek on a Saturday night? What? But I had no choice but to
Started.
watch TNG, so I watched ... Star Trek.
The
And
rest was history.
there was something about Jean-Luc Picard that captured my imagination. I got really into it. I decided I liked Star Trek. I recorded every episode on TV. I bought the Star Trek encyclopedia and I read it cover to cover. I watched the movies. I learned about Kirk and Spock. And then I discovered DS9 and met Benjamin Sisko. And that was the next level, the best captain of all. I hated Star Trek as a kid. Sean Cronin and Jean-Luc Picard got me into Star Trek. And now I run Star Trek for ScreenRant.com.
Aw. Yay!
Great story.
Yay.
Oh my God.
Great.
And you tell it well.
That. You do tell it well.
Oh, that was good stuff,
Oh
John
my
Arquiola.
God.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
I love these stories.
Oh, my heart.
I know.
What about you guys? Jenny, when did you who got you into Star Trek?
Well, I always used to watch it with my dad. I actually shouldn't even say always because it probably wasn't all the time. Like it probably wasn't that many times, but I just very distinctly remember doing it when I was very, very small. And I like the Horda really, really stuck in my brain. And it would often kind of scare me, but I was really like interested, but I didn't really kind of stick on it. And then I, went off into the life and was about 11 or 12, and I'd been being bullied for like, I don't know, years, years and years and years and years and years. And it was the point, grade 7, and I'm like going home for lunch because like I couldn't, anyway, it was just not a great time. And after school one day, Star Trek was on at like 8 o'clock every night. And I just happened to hit the channel one night and I saw LeVar Burton climbing around in some mud. And I was like,
Oh, I remember that episode.
I was like, Rainbow guy. Oh, this is that Star Trek show. Okay, all right. Yeah, like this is that new one. And I didn't, I saw part of that was The Enemy, but I think the first episode that I like actually sat down and watched was Shades of, no, not sorry, not Shades of Grey. Skin of Evil.
You would never.
I was gonna
that would be
say,
the
wow.
worst thing ever.
Skin of Evil. Skin of Evil. And I like, and Troy was in the shuttlecraft and Tasha died. And then they had this funeral. And I found myself like crying at the end of the episode. And I was just like, these people, like, they're a family. I love these people. And from then on, I was every single night, just like Orchiola, I was taping it every night. I was, getting my hands on every book. I got the Star Trek Fan Club magazine, and it was my lifeline. Like it was, like it got me through, and then got me eventually meeting other kids that were actually awesome, and that, yeah, got me through the rest of high school. But you know how I ended up here? Muhammad plucked me out of obscurity. He just found me on the internet and invited me to come join you guys for VTC 2.
Love
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he just
That's
saw a piece
great.
of my artwork on the internet and was like, "You should come and join us for this online
Yes.
convention we're doing."
What an angel,
yay.
that dude.
So absolutely finding TNG was a big thing, but Muhammad finding me like has literally changed my life.
Love that.
Aw.
Aw,
Love that.
that's what he does.
I know. We
I
love him.
know. He is the
He's
best.
And right now he's teaching people science stories on the cruise, and they get to
Heck
enjoy
yeah.
him.
So cool.
That's cool.
Well, Katie, what about you? When did you first watch? Well, not when did you first watch it
Mhm.
necessarily. Who got you into it? Picture it. It was spring of 2019. Go ahead.
I honestly, well, it's funny because I don't remember a whole lot from that part of my life. Like Jenny, very similar to you, is I was bullied horribly, and it was to the point that I was like anorexic. I was skipping school.
Mhm.
I like was
Wow.
afraid to leave my house,
Yep.
sort of a thing, which you're probably looking at
Right.
me like, what? But it's true. And that was like 2 years of my life. And one night I was walking through my parents' room and my dad was watching Star Trek. And like I couldn't sleep. It was probably like 3 in the morning. And there's Gambit Part 1.
Wow.
I don't know
Very
why,
cool,
but
what
I
a cool it is.
underrated.
Yeah.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite
Mhm.
episodes.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Two-parter.
Exactly. It's so good. And I saw Riker on the ship and then Picard's like, I like this. And I specifically do remember, like, this is how big of an impact that had on me. The next day, I remember we were going to the car dealership for an oil change. I was like, there's this guy named Riker, and he was so cool. Like, something P, and he's the captain. And then it just kind of, I went on all these shady websites and watched as many as I could.
Yeah.
Our computer doesn't work anymore because of me.
Oh.
I just
These were shady, weren't they?
Oh, so shady. I have a list in my room next to the sticky note that started it all that says Star Trek Gambit Part 1, never throw out. And so I could remember the
Aw.
episode. And yeah, that just got me thinking. It made me realize what I was missing in life, adventure-wise, and made me want to like get back outside. And it also like, it's science. I love science. And it just kind of taught me to logically think through my anxiety. And now I'm perfectly
Oh.
fine. So, and it still helps me with any
Nice.
anxiety because I
Yeah.
just scientifically work through it. So Star Trek,
Mhm.
that's the long story. Dad, anxiety, and
Oh.
depression. All of that
I
got
love
me into
it.
Star
Oh
Trek.
my gosh. Katie, I didn't know you went through all of that. Wow.
Oh
I
yeah. No, I
know.
was a completely different person back in middle
Oh.
school. And it's great because
Wow.
the person who bullied me now still lives in the area and I haunt the radio waves because I give weather updates every single day. She
Isn't that
cannot listen in
wonderful?
peace to any radio channels because
That's
I
funny.
magically appear. It's the greatest
Good.
revenge I could ever want.
I love
Yep.
that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Love
Oh.
that.
It's cathartic.
Does anybody have good memories of middle school? I hated it.
No one.
Yeah,
That's like
school
Lord of the
memories were not
Flies,
the
man.
greatest time
Yeah.
of my
Ugh.
life, no.
Only time I got detention. I was never gonna
Mhm.
I was a very
Never gonna
anxious
enjoy it after
child
that.
too. And then the
Yeah.
depression came later in high school.
Mhm.
And then the eating disorder came in college. So we have
Oh,
a similar
gosh. You just spread it
tried
all
them
out.
all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did the
What
whole
a
thing. But you
sampler.
know what? It makes you who you are. You overcome something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it all again, but I wouldn't take it back either.
Totally.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly. It's like,
Mhm.
because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be watching Star Trek. I wouldn't
Yep.
be as kind as I am.
Absolutely.
And it changes you. As long as you
Mhm.
come out on the other side. You got a trampoline up, back out of the pit.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's the
you
hard
do.
part.
And lest we forget, a lot of people don't. And if you're out there
Exactly.
and you're listening and you're in that position, look, there is a way out. You can find
Oh,
it. We're
yeah.
living proof.
Mhm.
Dude, message me. DMs are open.
Yeah.
I read them all, mostly for
talk.
fun. But yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Shar? You gave us a little taste. Who do we have to thank?
You all have my dad to thank for me
Aw.
being here, being a Star Trek fan. Started when I was 6. He was watching the original series, like old just reruns, randomly on some Denver channel. Because when you grow up in Wyoming, the Denver channels come
Mhm.
through on your cable TV. So that was the cool stuff. And so that's like, yeah, Star Trek came on either like right before or right after the news. I don't remember which. And I was watching it kind of just because he was watching it. It was what was on the TV and just got sucked in. I thought it was fascinating that there were these people out there and they were living in space and they were doing things with aliens, and it was just the coolest thing. And I wanted to be Lieutenant Uhura because she was the one lady on the bridge. So I thought that was amazing. And I had no idea, like the whole thing of like, oh, she's like a Black woman on the bridge. I had no idea even then what that was
Right.
like, what a big deal that was. Like, no, she must be cool because she's hanging with the guys. That's where my mind was at 6. So naive. But as the years went on, I started just watching more and more of it. Eventually, I started watching Next Generation because I remember my dad was really excited for this like watching these original series reruns up to the premiere of TNG. But I didn't really start that with him because it was a whole other crew and I was just getting to know these guys and Captain Kirk. So, and I think I liked the campiness of the 60s show, honestly. Like, as a kid, I dug it. But eventually I did get sucked into TNG. And then by the time I was, 10, my whole summer vacation I would go ride my bike to my grandma's house where it was quiet and I had the downstairs completely to myself. No one was there because my mom ran an in-home daycare. So it was noisy and just a constant barrage of things, distractions. So I ride my bike there, watch Star Trek movies on VHS every day.
Awesome.
And my grandma would buy me like little frozen bean burritos and I'd eat them for lunch every single day.
Yum.
So it was a great summer. But yeah, as far as like the whole Friends situation goes, it was not cool to be nerdy growing up and being a Star Trek fan. And very few people, one, would not admit they were Star Trek fans if they were. But then two, yeah, you weren't cool. if you were into geeky things, that was not chic. So for a while, I was really quiet about it. And then eventually, sometime in junior high, I just said, screw it. This is who I am. What of it? Like, it's not like people like me any more or less anyway. So whatever. I was going to be the nerd. Deal with it.
Yep.
And then I was writing fan fiction in the 8th grade. So
Yeah.
Me too.
and that led to all the shady websites as soon as I discovered the internet. I mean, we've got a lot of the same kind of cycle going on, Katie. I just did it a lot sooner than you did.
Oh my God.
Well, let's read a couple more of these. Terry Rose emails. I met James Doohan and a bunch of other actors at a restaurant I worked at. Oh, I guess I should preface this with the title. It says, I was already into Trek, but this revved up my appreciation even more. I found every VCR tape I could and watched them. Thank you, Mr. Doohan. Okay. So Terry says, met James Doohan and a bunch of other actors at a restaurant I worked at. My wife worked there and called me at home. Star Wars is here. That Worf guy, Richard Biggs, oops, is here. I went, that's what it says, but I don't get it.
Richard Biggs, he was on Babylon 5.
Okay. I went at warp speed and was there in 20 minutes. I got Richard Biggs's signature and James on a napkin. The others I had on napkins got destroyed on in a Christmas Day flood in my mom's basement.
Oh.
I chatted with Mr. Doohan and noted that he had already polished off 3 scotches. I told him how much I appreciated his work and went to shake his hand. I apparently didn't grip hard enough because he said in his regular voice, now you can do better than that. I shook his hand firmly again, and he said, that's better. I'm not going to do the accent. I have given firm handshakes every time now.
Awesome.
My daughters have heard this story many times, and they know whenever they came home with friends, they will get the story when I shake their hand. I've told the heartwarming story to James's son, Chris, on the interwebs, and he appreciated it.
That's awesome.
And here are some pictures. Looks like Richard Biggs and James Doohan on a napkin.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
hey,
there it is.
Neat.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Dr. Franklin for Rick Biggs.
Rick.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Char's like, we call him Rick. Here's another one.
Yeah, people in the know call him. Yeah, right. Sadly,
Here's
I never
another
got to
one
meet the guy.
From Steve Case, aka Joe Bugbuster. He says, I got my love of Trek from my father. I remember sitting on the couch with him watching TOS. I didn't realize it was in syndication, but the fact that was on every night should have been a clue. End of story. So it's one of those things where it's like, he probably doesn't remember a specific moment when he just kind of like, just remembers having it on as a kid.
Yeah.
And he got it from his dad. What about you, Melissa Longo? Who got you into Star Trek? Was it somebody like totally random, or was it like an
No.
obvious one?
No, it was more my family as a whole. My mom, I believe, I watched the Wrath of Khan, and I don't know, it was on the TV. Wrath of Khan was on the TV, and I remember being so freaked out by the worm that goes in the ear.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
But the Voyage Home was one of the first movies that I saw in the theater, and I was a wee little
cool.
pipsqueak, but that stuck with me. And my love of whales stuck with me because of that movie.
Nice.
I learned about Save the Whales when I was a wee little Melissa. But my older sister, loved to watch TNG because she had a crush on Wesley Crusher.
Oh.
I hear that.
Relatable.
Because they're
time.
about the same age.
Yeah.
So but for me, Guinan stuck out in
Oh.
TNG for some reason. And then and my dad was in the Air Force, so we moved around a lot. So that kind of felt like there was kind of a connection there too, because Enterprise is always going different places. But then I discovered Deep Space Nine on my own, and that was my Star Trek show in the 90s. And I was definitely a closet watcher. I would have never admitted
Yeah.
in high school.
Yes.
I had a cat that was a closet watcher too. I'm like, are you hearing something? Why are you staring at it? It was weird.
But yeah, I was a closet Star Trek fan, Deep Space Nine fan, because yeah, it was not cool to be into Star Trek.
Totally.
In my high school in Colorado.
Similarly, I'll tell y'all,
Yeah.
it must have been my dad definitely got me into it. I remember, I think my first Star Trek memory was watching, I think, Wrath of Khan at like a neighbor's house with my dad. I'm like my dad's friend, and we were watching it. I do remember the things in the ear, sometime after it came out. And I remember watching that, and I remember liking Star Trek, or, I think I liked Spock because he was just kind of like the cool one that just happens to always be right and smart and like, no, yeah, I know things and you're just so rascally, but I'm cool. And then as I got older, you're told, yeah, Star Trek is for nerds. What? That's dumb. I don't like Star Trek. What? No, you like Star Trek. No, you like Star Trek. It's kind of like that. So maybe 10 years or so go by, and I don't dare watch Star Trek. Oh, that is nerdy. And then when I was maybe like 16 or something, it was like 2015.
Totally.
No, but when I was like maybe 16, and I've mentioned this before, it was like I was sick home from school, and I was just laying on the couch, and then Star Trek came on, and I was like, ew, gross, nerd stuff. And then I went to reach for the remote, and it was too far away, and I couldn't do it. And I'm like, what do I do? Because I was really sick and tired. I was like, what do I do? I felt like I was getting indoctrinated. Like somebody was going like this to me. And I was like, I don't know what to. And so I just kind of like was like, all right, I'll change it eventually. And I just kind of started watching it. And who knew? There were like aliens and lasers and interesting stories. And it was in the future. And I was like, I like all of those things. I like all of the things that is in Star Trek. So I guess, and then the next day when I went to school, I came home from school. I think it was like at 4:00. It was in syndication, When I came home from school, I actually was kind of like looking for TV, and I was like, I wonder if that Star Trek show's on again. Let me just see if the next episode is also good before I really, admit to myself I like it. And there it was on again. And I watched it again. Oh, by the way, it was Next Generation.
Mhm.
I watched it
Okay.
again, and you guessed it, it was also good. The second episode, I was like, oh, well, then I guess it's just a good show and I like it. And then I got all my friends to like, I'm like, dude, bro, when you doing the things that partaking in the things that high school kids partake in. I'm like, bro, you got to watch Star Trek. What? It's for nerds. No, dude, watch. You're going to love it. Trust me.
Yes.
Next thing you know, we are all watching Star Trek and we all love it. And so I hope that they
Amazing.
say Ryan's the guy that got me into Star
I
Trek.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's read another one of these, shall we? Got a
Yeah.
little bit more time.
These are amazing.
Mhm.
It is.
This
It's
is like
fun.
totally
I
making my
know.
night too.
Yeah, I love
I
this so
Yeah.
much.
So much fun.
Mhm.
It's like
Uh,
campfire stories.
Yeah.
Yes, I could see this happening at like
is.
Star Trek Las Vegas.
Yes.
Just be like
Yes.
an after hours campfire.
Oh.
How did you get into
Yeah.
Star Trek?
Mm-hmm.
We can make it like ghost stories where they have like a really dark twist where it's like, and then a ghost showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, but luckily Beverly Crusher came and saved me.
Mm-hmm.
Someone broke into my house
In
and they
her
were
own
gonna
way.
unalive me, and then all of a sudden Sub Rosa was on the TV, and I
Yeah.
got so distracted by the candle. I escaped.
Beverly saved me. She was wrestling him on the bed. It was a long wrestling match, but I think she was winning. Anyway. I could tell
my
she was
God.
winning.
Oh my God.
All right. Sorry, earmuffs, Katie. Our friend
Protect her
Rashid
fragile
writes
ears.
in. I feel like this is like a radio show. Rashid writes in, a girl called Michelle from school gave me lots of VHS tapes to watch full of TNG episodes.
Oh.
I stayed up all night watching. I was properly hooked. A Trekkie was born that night. I've been a Trek man for over 30 years, a Trek fan for over 30 years now, and it's a huge part of my life. Rashid,
Oh.
shout out to that girl who hooked you up with some VHS tapes. She gets
I
it.
love that.
True
Heck
friend.
yeah.
I love that. You know,
Our
it's
good
funny
buddy-
actually. Oh, sorry. The Star Trek friends that I made were older kids who actually approached me at school and were like, "Are you the girl that records the TNG episodes? You have all the VHS tapes of TNG?" And I was like,
Yeah,
"Yes, I am."
I heard you got some
Yeah.
good shows,
You
some
got
good
the
episodes.
stuff.
And that's it.
Yeah,
And
you
I
got-
started loaning them, and that's how, yeah.
Oh my God.
And you were the popular
Blockbuster for
kid.
Star
Dealer.
Trek.
Yeah.
Well, I only had a couple of
gosh.
years where I had to kind of like where I was sort of, doing it undercover. Who
That's
else you have
amazing.
Handing
there?
out drugs,
That's
but
so
it's Star
good.
Trek.
That's great.
Because I could totally see that back then where people are like, I heard Jenny's got like all the episodes, all the good
Yeah.
ones at least. What?
God.
Yeah, maybe
Great.
she'll
And
let
the
you, if you're
tribbles.
nice, she might.
Mhm.
I was a fanfic dealer. I would like print it out on my printer at home from the computer and then
I
distribute
I
them to people
handwrote
who
all
were
my-
interested.
I handwrote
Oh
all
hell
my
no,
fanfics.
no. But I would
Oh.
I would type out the
Mhm.
fanfic because I would write it on a notebook first and then type it up nice because my
Amazing.
handwriting was terrible, always has been.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently there's a company
You got a
that'll
new
like
chapter?
book bind
Yeah.
your fanfics now
Amazing.
if you want that. Like you
The
can make
what?
it an actual book. Like there's a company that'll take your fanfiction
Wow.
and make it a book.
Amazing.
There's one that I want
Ooh.
to order that's like 500,000 words. It's longer than Harry
Oh.
Potter and the Order of Phoenix.
Oh my god.
I thought you were gonna say dollars.
Wow.
I don't know why I went there,
A
but
lot of
that's
fanfic.
Do we have
We're
more of
going
these?
back
Ryan?
into distributing.
yeah, we have a couple more.
Oh,
and by the
amazing.
way, I do have proof of my childhood Star Trek fandom when I
Ooh.
originally got started out.
Baby Ryan picture?
Oh
Yeah,
my
kind of. Look, there's the
Yes.
little
Aw.
there's the little thing right there.
Cute.
so cute.
Aw, you look like
See?
a little baby redheaded Spock.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like
God,
a iron
so
on.
cute.
Oh wow.
And so then you get that ironed on, and then you just run around the house going like blah blah, but then like what else can you do?
Yeah.
That's all you got. You just keep doing this, but you think that's so cool. You're like, if I keep doing this, I'm Star Trek.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
One of these days someone will respond.
Mhm.
So yeah, our pal Christopher D. Marshall says, so the first time I ever watched Trek was the premiere of Time's Arrow Part 1.
Ooh,
But it was
cool.
not by choice.
Dark.
I was
Ah.
sleeping over at my friend's house, and there was only one TV. His
Aw,
mom was
man.
way into Trek and made us sit quietly while she watched it. I got sucked in. And I remember being disappointed when the to be continued appeared on
Oh,
the screen because I thought I'd likely never find out how it ended.
Oh my
A
gosh.
few years later, my dad rented the Starfleet Academy video game for Super Nintendo. I loved the game so much
Mhm.
that it reminded me of when I watched Time's Arrow and how much I'd enjoyed it. Between the two, I decided to watch a few episodes of TNG on my own. First episode was a fistful of datas, and I've been hooked.
Oh boy.
I've been hooked ever
Nice.
since, he says. Poor guy, he had to go maybe decades without seeing Time's Arrow Part 2.
Man.
It's true. It's true. Because if he went to fistful of data to the next one, that's like he jumped over it.
Yeah. Oh. We got to know, when did you finally get to see the conclusion of Time's Arrow?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know,
And did you
Chris
like it?
Marshall, in the
Yeah.
live chat. Well, we have one more. It's from our good buddy Bill Erickson, that's aka War Dogheim out in Montana.
Oh,
Sadly,
hi.
we're all out of time because I'm watching the clock here.
Aw.
And if it's one thing that we do, it's start on time and end on time. So we
We're
really,
terribly punctual here.
sorry, War Dog. I read it to myself.
Oh
It was a
my
great
God.
story. I liked it a lot. So let's see.
You can't
Let's
do that
talk
to the
about
guy.
Oh,
this.
come on.
I'll forward
Read
it.
Read it.
Okay. War Dog was getting on a plane right now. He's gonna throw some.
Better
at
watch
my
your back,
head.
Ryan.
Bill Erickson says, great guy, by the way. He says,
Yeah.
I was hooked in September of, say it with me, 1966.
Oh,
When
wow.
my younger brother and I low crawled from our room to behind the couch and started watching it in our 13-inch black and white console TV in a little wheat town in eastern Washington. Maybe they call it Washington. The queen of my universe entered my life in that time. Scotty, wait, okay, well, that's what he says. That must be Nichelle. Then he says, Scotty is why I got into electronics and am now an engineer
Amazing.
in one form or
Cool.
another for most of my life. Semper Fi. Bill Erickson, the war dog of Montana.
Awesome.
So he was
AKA
sneaking around
Papa
watching
Bear.
while the kids, while the parents are watching or something.
Yeah, that's so cute.
He's doing his army crawl.
That's awesome.
Did we find out from Chris when he saw the second one? Let me see.
He did reply. I don't recall exactly, but it couldn't have been more than a year or two later.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. Glad you weren't in suspense for
Mhm.
like
Until
double digits
Netflix,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have been painful.
I was just thinking like Netflix, and he's like,
Yeah.
now I got to watch the first one all over again because I don't
Right.
remember what happened.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
terrible problem.
But thanks to Netflix, I got back into Star Trek because of the stream.
Yeah, a lot of
that was
people
the first
did.
place I found it streaming
Yeah.
online.
Right. Well, that's kind of why Star Trek got not just a revival, with the shows, but in all of us. Like
Mhm.
we
Oh,
all
yeah.
liked Star Trek, I think a lot more casually than once we got to see every episode on Netflix. Then we got to like memorize everything
Yeah.
and go nuts. And then we find each other and we're like, bro, I watch all Star Trek. And the other one's like, dude, you nerd, me too.
Yeah.
And we just go. And then that's how and Netflix will now hopefully be doing that with a whole new generation of
Yes.
soon-to-be Star Trek
Yes,
fans
please.
with Star Trek Prodigy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Big money,
Yes.
big
Love
money
that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Like how special is
wait.
that those things like those moments are happening with Prodigy for like this, you know, they're like,
Yeah.
"My mom sat me down and had me watch this show."
Totally.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome.
Can't
Yeah.
wait for season 2.
It is happening.
So
It's
exciting.
happening right now. But then they're going to watch Prodigy and they're going to be like, wow, this is so cool. I want to watch more Star Trek.
Yes.
I'll start with the original. And then they're like,
Mhm.
You know, I have heard from a couple of people who did that. They got curious and wanted to watch more Star Trek. Voyager is a great entry point just because of the Janeway connection.
Yeah. But even,
From
I mean,
Prodigy,
even
yeah.
with
Yeah, from Prodigy.
the Enterprisians, there's that,
Sure.
Mhm.
you have that connection back to TOS. So it's not
Yeah.
a complete, like,
a little
you
bridge.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I can't imagine an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old going, all right, I'm going to watch Kirk and Spock. And they just sit there and they're just like, huh,
Yeah.
we have a dilemma. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, this makeup sucks. I can see the lines.
Oh my
They
God.
could start with the animated series and then they could
Yeah.
get introduced
Yeah.
to
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
because it's great. And yeah, there's some really good episodes in that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Lower Decks is the correct next step from Prodigy for kids.
Yeah, like,
probably not.
When you're a teenager, you'll really appreciate Lower Decks, especially the more Star Trek you've seen, though, too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's even a little racy for teenage. I mean, there's like orgy scenes. I'm like, I'm picturing
Well,
a
I mean,
14-year-old
maybe it
going like,
depends on the
whoa, this is
teen, you know?
graphic. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like teens
Star's
today
like,
are
I
built
can handle
different.
it.
Well, I mean, I was
so,
reading
too.
all sorts of racy fanfic when I was a teen, so I'm not exactly a great example, maybe.
That could be a follow-up question is, when did you first get introduced to fan fiction? Because that's a story.
14.
It's really
Well,
funny.
no,
'cause-
wait.
Yeah.
Take that back. I take that back. I was writing fanfic as young as 12, did not realize that it was called fan fiction until 14 when I got on the internet and went on news groups and saw that other people did the same things I was doing and they published them and put them out there for people to read. I'm like, oh, this is a whole thing.
Mhm.
I was just doing this for fun
Wow.
at school lunch.
Yeah. I wrote a 40-page story of Troy and Riker getting married, and they had
Aw.
like a full Betazoid wedding, which I then made my English teacher read in grade 8.
Oh
And-
my God, yes.
And she was like, why were they all naked?
That's the rules.
She was like,
Love
I mean,
it.
I mean, good writing, Jenny, but what the fuck?
Yeah. She didn't know. She didn't know.
Just tell her, I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
Yep.
That's right.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. I did Star
Yeah.
Trek fanfic for a couple of school assignments in the 8th grade, and
Mhm.
I did not realize it until it was too late. But one of my instructors passed it on to another instructor who passed it on to another instructor because they were sci-fi fans. They're like, she wrote his story, isn't that cute?
Oh
And
my
they were all
God.
like, oh my gosh, you just keep writing. You could get published.
Mhm.
And that started a whole thing,
Aw.
wanting to
That's
have
cool.
like a career in writing forever.
That's amazing.
It was
That's
fun. They were very
great.
encouraging. Very
That's
encouraging.
Aw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of encouraging, guys, let's talk
Yeah.
about this week very quickly. So yesterday on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we had a nice throwback Thursday that was re-edited by Melissa Longo. Can you tell them about it?
Yeah, well, it was with special guest Caitlin Hopkins, and the episode was a review of the ship. And she was just talking about her process of during the audition, and then when after she got the part of the Vorta and playing opposite Avery Brooks as Benjamin Sisko, and she was just I don't know. To me, it was a workshop for acting.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's such a
because
good episode
It
too.
was amazing. Yeah, great episode. But it was amazing to see how she arose to her choices and why she made certain choices. And that's such an important word in acting, I think, is choices.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
yeah, it really colors performance. when
And that's
people
Caitlin
stick to-
Hopkins, everybody. Check that out. That's on the Seventh Rule
So good.
YouTube channel. Now, on this Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel, we've got our first segment review of, where is it? Here it is. Oh, The Defector.
Yes.
TNG The Defector. I kept almost mispronouncing that word. The Defector. There is no A in that word.
No.
And great episode, but did Sirach and I like it? I guess I kind of gave that away just now.
Yeah.
But check it out. That is Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. See what we thought of it. Then on the Seventh Rule YouTube channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday night, we've got Booby Trap. Remember that TNG episode, season 3, episode 6,
Yes.
Sure
Booby
do.
Trap.
Yup.
So that is our full review of Booby Trap on that one. That's on Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then on Tuesday, come right back to this channel, the Virtual TrekCon channel, for the main viewer. There are no shenanigans. We don't laugh.
Unlike
It's
here.
true. Very
We just
serious.
tell we give you all this insider information. Jenny dropped a bomb before we recorded. We don't tell it live here. We tell it all on Tuesday. It's like a tell-all of like Star Trek news and rumors. That is 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the main viewer right here at the Virtual TrekCon YouTube channel. And then lastly, on Wednesday, go to the Falling Tower YouTube channel for the Watch the First podcast at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It is, here's a fun one. We're doing Sci-Fi Month, and this was listed as sci-fi.
Hey.
Twisted Metal on Peacock.
Oh, cool.
Twisted Metal. It's
Mhm.
based off of a PlayStation game, I
Yeah.
believe. And
Okay.
Rico E. Anderson is our guest. So
Yay.
Rico, Dr. Muhammad Noor, and I review Twisted Metal to close
Cool.
out Sci-Fi Month on the Falling Tower YouTube channel this Wednesday. All right. That being said, Katie, you've been awfully quiet lately. Where can people find you online? Have you been looking up fan fiction? What's going on?
Oh gosh, no. I am thinking. I'm like, I need to go and try to find some of Char's old fan fiction. Jenny, if you have yours, I'd read it too.
I do.
She'll send it to you.
I do have it in, like, duotangs, like-
And if you
Oh my
find
gosh,
it,
I love-
let me know, because I have very little of it. Long ago, my hard drive crashed on an old computer and I lost a lot of those files.
Oh no.
So if you
Oh.
somehow managed to uncover some of that, wow, good on you, because I tried and I've not found them.
Oh, there goes the rest of my weekend.
Katie, don't. It's not worth
If
it.
you all-
It's crap.
Oh.
If you all would like to find me, I will be on the web. So just find me on social media at weather_Katie or on YouTube as so many random fandoms. And the offer does stand. If any of you ever want to talk about anything or need any assistance in life, Star Trek is here for you, as am I.
Mhm.
That's so kind.
I'd also like to extend that invitation. If any of you need to talk, you got Katie's information, so go ahead and contact her. Char, where can people find you online?
You can find me at like alt.startrek.creative.erotica or wherever I was posting my stories back in the day. I read that one. I didn't post there. No. I wasn't allowed. Shouldn't have been reading either. No. Anyway, you can find me at Oh the Profanity. That's my handle on social networks wherever I have an account. And you can buy Trek Inspired soap at boldbubbles.com. And I just put a bunch of stuff on clearance. So if you're looking for a deal, now's a good time to score them.
Whoa.
That way I make room for more soap.
Did somebody say deal? Everybody check
Deal.
that out. It's boldbubbles.com.
Whoa.
Go fast. Doll-inspired bars
Nice.
will awaken your senses.
Can
What are
I
the
just
deals?
say, sorry, I'm in the middle of one of your bars.
But which one?
Oh shoot, which one is it? I forget, but it's amazing.
What's
It's
the
got-
scent? Do you remember?
It's got orange and it's not that one.
It's not like an orange swirly design, is it?
Yeah, but it's got black
Oh.
in it too.
Maybe
I
it's
think. Is it Voyager?
changeling.
Changeling. I
Scroll
think
up, Ryan.
Well,
Wait.
hang on. Voyager Tuvix for $6. This looks
There you go. Yeah,
Black
Tuvix.
Orchid. I bet
Yeah.
that smells really good. I don't
Yeah,
like
there's only a
Tuvix,
couple
but I
of
like
these
that.
left, so I just want to clear out that space. Like, there's nothing wrong with the soap at all. They're still good. It's just it's time to move them around.
That
Yeah,
newest one
Kira's
kills me.
definitely cinnamon. She's spicy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
Nice.
smells so good. If you love cinnamon,
Mhm.
Babylon 5.
Nice.
No wonder it's 50 cents less than with Star Trek. No,
Shush
but
you. No, it's an older style bar and it's not quite as much soap. That's why.
is
But I
it?
did
I
a
don't see it.
redo
No.
redux
Wonderful.
of Changeling not that long ago. It's there it is.
Oh no,
It
it's not
was
that one either.
Not that one? Okay.
Mm-mm.
It's the same scent. It's oatmeal, milk, and honey, but I did like a completely different, like design for it this time.
Just
Great
love
stuff,
I
though.
don't
how vibrant your
remember, but
colors
it's
are.
wonderful. It is
What'd you say,
so good.
Oh, I just
Aw.
love how vibrant your colors are. Like
Oh, thank you.
it's tempting to eat. And that's the sign of a good product.
Just do
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, you can. I'm not responsible for that if you try it, but like if you need soap in your mouth, if you're filthy like me,
A little snack
Fine.
while reading
do what you need to
fanfic.
do.
Do parents still do that? Make kids like chew
I
on
don't
soap or
know.
whatever?
No.
I don't know.
bet
I got
they
threatened with that
don't.
all the time.
Yeah,
I
I
do
bet
too.
they don't. I bet they just
Mhm.
go like, darn it, don't darn.
You
Uh,
just don't.
Yeah. The kid will definitely not do it because kids
Right, it'll work.
just, if you tell them don't do something, that's it. You just said don't do something. They don't need
Right?
repercussions.
It's true.
What about you, Jenny R? Your thoughts? Where can people find you?
Oh, I was like, my thoughts. What? Hey, you can find me all over the internet. My handle in most places is Jenny R. Johnson Art, but on Twitter it's at Jenny R. Johnson. Just that. But also you can find me on my website at Jenny R. Johnson. No, not at. Oh gosh, JennyRJohnson.com for blech. Anyway, you can get stuff there. Or find out other things, or find me on social media, whatever. Also sign up for my newsletter. Anyway, hello, goodbye.
That's pretty much the easiest way. Just go to her website and sign up
Exactly.
for her newsletter.
Yeah.
Then you can get all the information without having to remember stuff. She does the
Exactly.
work for you. So just sign up for
Thanks,
her
Ryan.
newsletter.
That's a really good way
Keep
to
it-
say that. Thank you.
It's true though. It's a lot easier. Just go to her website, type in your email, and then
Mhm.
she does the work for you, and you just go like, oh, huh. That's
Yeah.
I'll get that.
I'm gonna send out one on Sunday.
So hurry.
Yeah.
Melissa Longo, where can people find you online?
Social media at Melissa Longo, Malissa, and the introvertedrepublic.com and Walking Art Made by Melissa on Patreon. La, la, la. Ooh.
Hi, everybody. You can find me on twitter.com at RyanTG Husk. Once again, that's at RyanTG Husk, or just Falling Tower, the Seventh Rule, or Virtual Trek. Katie is laughing at, so I don't know what it is, but she's really happy. Or
I saw the comment. It was like, can Jenny talk with her hands tied down or something like that? I was
No.
like, no,
No,
you
I
have
cannot.
to move.
I sure
'cause
hope
I'm like,
not.
I
I
do
like
the
it
same
that
cannot.
thing.
No,
It's
I
fun.
know.
Feels like I'm watching her say stuff, not just listening. I'm enjoying it.
Entertainment.
Can't help it.
Brilliant.
So that's it for us. Thank you, Kimber, Greg, who said he's going to buy some soap, by the way.
Hey.
Just Rosie,
Do it.
BL, Joshua M. Patton, David. Thank you, BL. I think I mentioned Benjenium. Lots of B's today.
Ooh.
Dave Gregory, Kathy D, Terry Rose, Ultra Running. Oh, shoot, the Warriors are playing. Let's speed this up. Dave Gregory,
We gotta
War
go
Dog
now.
Hive, Glenn Iverson, and everybody. Oh, if anybody knows how you can undelete Facebook messages, find Glenn Iverson on Facebook and let him know. I don't know if it's possible, but if you can undelete Facebook message threads, let Glenn Iverson know. We need some techie people. It sounds like a toughie.
Right.
I don't know if it's doable,
Hmm.
but thanks, everybody. We will see you next time. And doggone it, have a chill weekend, right?
Yeah.
Ah. He's earned it.